Hello, I'm Friendly Baron, and welcome back to another episode of GTA 5 Tracks in Real Life. Today we're in downtown Los Angeles, but it's going to start looking a lot like downtown Los Santos as we drive around. Today's track is Frenchie's GP by Machiski22, and we're here at the start-finish line right now. You can see the purple tower of Pershing Square, also known as Legion Square in-game. It takes up a block and is quite similar in the art, style, and the color scheme as in-game and real life. I'm currently driving down Olive Street, which is known as Elgin Avenue in-game. The brown building on my left here is the Millennium Biltmore Hotel, which is known as the Emissary Hotel in-game, even though it swaps to the other side of the block that it's on. It's got a couple restaurants and businesses on the bottom floor, and just like in-game, there's a restaurant named Frenchie's Restaurant, which is where I believe Mitch got the name for his track from. I've actually stayed at that hotel before, and it's not very great. To give you an idea of where we are now, here's a quick zoom from the US West Coast down to LA County and then downtown LA. I'll bring up on the left here the map of the track from Rockstar's website, and the route I'll be driving today on the right. There are some noticeable differences in terms of the turns we take and the scaling, and that's part of why I chose this track, to show some similarities but also some major differences. We'll go over those as we get to them. We're now heading uphill and are going to go under the complex and overhang that contains the IAA and FIB buildings in-game. This is known as the California Plaza in real life, and has restaurants and some parks and kind of just that green area at the bottom, and various businesses scattered throughout the buildings themselves instead of just one big corporation. Coming up is one of the first differences on the track. We need to get over the freeway to take the first two left turns, but in order to do that in real life, we need to take a quick right and then another left to get onto the correct road that goes to the freeway. So I'll just fast forward up to the correct spot of us getting back on the main track. I've decided I'll just be dubbing over the audio in these videos for now. I'd probably have to spend close to $100 to get a good audio quality on the bike, which I'm not ready to invest in yet. And I can get better information and commentary at home right now than doing it live on the bike anyways. As we come up to this intersection, you notice that it's red, along with the crosswalks being red too. This is somewhat modeled in game, where you see a lot of the crosswalks in downtown Los Santos have the red crosswalks as well. This big white building that I'm looking at right now, that's downtown City Hall. And when we usually go over the freeway in game and we make those two left turns, it's around this City Hall building. But in real life, the City Hall is on this south side of the freeway, and we turn around a different building when we go over to the actual other side of the freeway. Here we are approaching the intersection that is also an overpass over the freeway. The style of this particular one is cool, so I'm putting up a view from Google Earth on the bottom right, and a view from in-game matching that on the left. The general style of the overpass, the on and off ramps that kind of intersect with the intersection and come right up, and the tunnels, it all looks similar, so it's a good example of being inspired without being an exact copy. Notice there's some tents on the right. That's all homeless camp kind of thing. It's not too bad in the area we're at today, but I've been in other places in LA where just constant rows and rows of tents like that of people homeless. It's kind of sad to see. And I've left this fast forwarded in a little bit just because I want to show how much of a pain it is to turn left in some places where there's no left turn arrow. I don't know how common that is, but I usually never have to deal with this. And then also, this guy nearly hit me. I had to move my bike to get out of his way. It only took 4 minutes, but we're finally making the actual first left turn of the track. Remember, it's straight all the way up until the actual track. We'll take the second left turn up here pretty soon, though, and get back to the action. Okay, so there's turn 2, and now we're going to go over the freeway again on a similar bridge in both game and real life, and come into the elevated section of downtown. I think this is my favorite part. Starting off, you can see the Maze Bank Tower, aka the US Bank Tower, very well behind that reddish building right there. Most of the buildings in this section, before we get to next to the skyscrapers, are kind of all artsy buildings. There's some theaters and stuff like that. Now we're in between these skyscrapers, and on my left in game and in reality, you can see the barriers for the underground section. It's very similar down there to in game. I've got some shots of it to show later. The barriers, though, are all rounded the same, similar height, and it's, you know, kind of just solid between the pole style in real life. And to my left, you can see the top area of the California Plaza. It's kind of an open green, kind of park area. That's where the FIB and IAA buildings are that we went under at the beginning of the video. Alright, now a quick note, I will come back to the ovivo line and show you what it looks like in real life. It's actually over to our right there is where the actual ovivo line is. If you don't know what that is, don't worry, I'll show a video of it for you people who don't play on PC and don't know what it is yet. So the third turn, the right turn, when you come down from the race section, it's a pretty far down this way. We're actually going to be going downhill at a much slower rate than you see in the game right now. So I'll fast forward up until we get there. So we've done the right-hander turn 3, and now this is the left-hander for turn 4. Notice again the red crosswalks, and then the reason this is turn 4 in real life. The trolley line comes up on my left from underground here, just like in game. As I get stuck at this light during a worker shift change, I'm bringing up another view on the bottom right now. Frenchie's itself goes the wrong way on the freeway, which is not something I plan on doing myself in any of these videos. So the view on the right and myself on the bike will be taking the correct on-ramp, but in the reverse of the track, which will still be playing on the bottom left. This on-ramp is similar, and it's got a slight dog leg, both in real life and in the game, as you go up it. Something to note is that I think this freeway does a good job of feeling the same in-game as it does in real life. It's got that elevated feel with the short little barriers on the side. The one thing that isn't the same is this trolley. The trolley existing is in between the freeway lanes is something that exists, but it's farther north. It's not in this area of Los Angeles. So now all three views are exiting the freeway. The long left-hander that the in-game track makes now basically does not exist anywhere. It's kind of just made up, but a lot of the businesses around it, the businesses and buildings around that left-hander do exist. In fact, almost every building in GTA has a real-life counterpart, but they're all kind of spread around in random areas or not in the county or different parts of the state, and I don't think it's really worth to go look at all of those. They're not super interesting. I'm really only going to cover ones relevant to the track, maybe some of our teams, if there's a good one to look at. Actually, we'll look at the augury building later on in this video, and then maybe some other notable ones, but besides that, we're not going to focus on them too much. I'm bringing up another video on the bottom right. In the left of that video, and the left of the main footage, you can see some similar parking lots and businesses. This building coming up right now is actually very similar, in-game and out, that run alongside the freeway here. There's also a bus station a bit farther down, actually it's right to our left now in real life, that's basically mimicked the same in-game. And here's the final turn of the track that brings us back to the start-finish line. It's just a much farther dash to the finish line in actuality. And as well, you get another good view of, you can see the Maze Bank Tower right in the center of the screen right now, and some other buildings on the skyline. And here we are back at the finish line, with Pershing Square, aka Legion Square, coming into view again. So that's around Mitch's Frenchie's GP. I am aware that there's a new version of the track, which is obviously better for racing on. I purposely took the footage from the old version, since it obviously resembles, without all the props, it resembles the real-life version so much. Also, this bus right here was a bit close for comfort. And there's also a, here's another view of coming up to the overhead plaza, just to get another look at it. Okay, now, let's take a look at the inspiration of the ramps that create the ovivo line, which I'm looking at over to my right now. If you don't know what the ovivo line is, I'm showing it on the screen. It's where this pro line where you jump over the railing as you go down before the third turn of the track, as I'm ducking on a side street to get to it. This is the top area. The barrier is made of pipes instead of being solid, but there are two ramps here for each direction on the sides, the expansion of the turn lane, the same kind of angle, the sidewalk on the side, the road down in the center. It's all the same as this place in-game. I don't own a Trials bike, so I didn't actually do the ovivo line. I'm sorry for the letdown. I'm coming around to get at these ramps from the other direction, but first I'm going to point out a building. It's a model for the Arcadius building in-game with this weird multiple cylinder thing going on. And here's another look at the ramps that make up the ovivo line from the other side. I'm taking the bottom road this time, and you can see them go up on either side of me, and then it dumps me straight to the underground section of downtown LA. And the underground section that's down running around under all these streets, they really did a good job capturing it. I don't really have more view of it than what I had right there, but the pillars and all that other kind of stuff, they just did a great job capturing the feel of under there. And that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as the first one in this series back on the Coastline Clash. Next video is going to be either sandy shores or hills. If you have a preference on which you'd rather see, I can try and do that. Otherwise, I'll just do it in terms of easiness for myself. See you next time.